Hello, everyone. The mic was muted. Everyone, good to see you tonight, Center of Light. I've been wanting to do this presentation for a while. I've been putting it off. I was not going to do it tonight. Something came up and then something fell through. And so let's do it. Devotion. She's laughing. Tonight's Center of Light, Bhakti. Devotion. And devotion is not really appearing in church on Sunday. It's not even dropping to your knees in prayer. That's not what devotion is. It's a ritual. It's part of devotion. But it's not, yes, divine timing. But devotion is not just being on your knees. It's deeper than that. It's always deeper than that. Everything is always deeper than what we can give it. Or we have given it. So we're going to be talking about bhakti. Bhakti can be devotion or love. Sort of the same thing depending on how it's used in said context. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Though dropping to one's knees is a form, a sign, a movement, a gesture toward devotion, one can be completely devoted and never callous their knees whatsoever. So we're going to get into that tonight's Center of Light, Bhakti, devotion, love, self-love. It's good to see you all. A couple of announcements real quick. Dr. Katie Camara and myself putting together Center of Light fundraiser. It's going well. We have a few things to take care of. We're moving forward ever so surely, ever so nicely. Make up my notes. Power, breakthrough, connection, love. Power. Information is power. Being in a formation with power itself creates all kinds of breakthroughs. It helps us to connect to bhakti, devotion, love itself. What is meant by the bhakti? Bhakti, which comes to mean devotion or love in later literature, is one of the central concepts of Hinduism, Christianity, Buddhism, but Hinduism gets the coin acknowledgement here because it's driven really intensely by the Hindus. It describes the side of Indian religion in which the personal engagement of a devotee, be it with whoever your deity is. It describes the side of Indian religion in which a personal engagement of a devotee with a personally conceived divinity is understood to be the core of the religious life. What is meant by bhakti? That's a double one. Why did I put that down twice? Either way, bhakti, love, devotion. It's really becoming entangled, truly involved on every possible level. Devotion is not about God. Devotion is not about God. God does not really per se need your devotion. Hello, Robert. The devotion is all about you. If God was affected by what we praise and what we blame, God would become a slave. It's never going to happen. God is concrete. God is solid. God does not need our praise, our devotion. The devotion is strictly for ourselves. Devotion is not about God. It's about you. God doesn't need your devotion. You need your devotion. I need my devotion. Devotion's route is me being devoted to myself, which brings me to the core, which is God. Devotion is not about God, it's about you. God does not need your devotion. We need the devotion. Devotion's route is me being so devoted to myself, which brings me to the core, which is God. It's the catapult, it's the vehicle. The opposite direction is projection out there, somewhere and not near and dear, here. devotion to the self of being present in every possible moment. Devotion is putting you, your whole self, not only your whole self, but your whole self, your wholeness self. The opposite direction of devotion is projection out there, somewhere and not near and dear here. Devotion is putting capital U in your whole self into what you are doing. Cooking food. I'm devoted to making a wonderful meal for my family. This is God as well. If you're putting your love into this meal that you are creating, you're putting God into this meal you're creating. That's devotion. Devotion is being conscious every moment and doing something absolutely fully to the level that you can do it. Devotion is putting you, your whole self, into what you are doing, not only towards a deity or God. God is omnipotent or everywhere. So devotion is about capital being. You are a being dedicated or devoted to life, a life, all life. Loving yourself is devotion to God. To reach God, you have to find the love within you to the level that God is. So we have to go through, hello Carmen Shasha, we have to go through what we know as ourselves to ever reach the absolute. If we can't understand the finite, puny little self, how are we ever going to take in the infinite majesty and glory when we can't even handle our own feeble monkey-mindedness? That being said, devotion is about losing your mind. Someone ever tells you, you've lost your mind, tell them, thank you. To reach God, you have to find the love within you to the level that is God. From Swamiji this morning, his daily divine message, our mind is the key. I just said throw away the mind. He's saying the same thing differently. Our mind is the key. If we turn it inwards, it gets obliterated and we get liberated. If we turn it outwards, we get into bondage. To get inner peace, we need inner view. Debbie says, your love is like a ship on the ocean, full of love and devotion. That song popped into my head, monkey-mindedness. And I didn't realize till just now, devotion, that I used this as my opening screen, ocean, devotion. And it's pink, innocence, rebirth, renewal, a pink ocean. It's like the Christ's principle, always comforting you into life-giving, it's life-giving waters and sunshine or light or shine. And that shines on every one of us. So you see, devotion is not always this. In fact, that's only probably one of the most superficial layers of it. But for many of us, it requires dropping to the knee. So the gates begin to open. But you become a devoted one to anything. You can call it Jesus, you can call it Swamiji, you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it your children. You begin to be a devotee of mothering or fathering your children. This is no different than any other devotion. Now, that being said, we want to connect to the all of it, which will include other ways we're devoted to life. It's like taking care of business in one shot versus a whole bunch of little pieces. Deities don't need our blessings, our praise or our devotion. They've already exalted into the divine ocean. It's really about us. It's for us. When we reach those deities and the higher ups, the higher thought forms and the higher light forms, we'll reach back. This is the importance of devotion. And if you find a deity, have as many as you like, but if you have one that really, really, truly to the core resonates to you, just by simply looking at a picture or reading one of their quotes, puts you in that space, lean into it. That would be my suggestion. Devotion. Now I'm beginning to understand this aspect of what it really means. I've been putting off this presentation, not because it ain't time. It just, everything didn't seem to line up, but it did today. Right before it didn't seem to line up. The last moment. And at the last moment, I'm really understanding what true devotion is. Which is the blessings you see in your life as a turnaround or fruit that fell from your tree of devotion. Pick that apple up, Adam, Eve, take a bite. You will gain all knowledge, rather, all wisdom. The game's being played in reverse now. It's okay to bite the apple. Apple of sustenance. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. But devotion. You're not just a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean. That's a drop. Center of Light going to be right back. I got some teachers tonight. I fell in love with this beautiful teacher. He's been around for a while. I followed him for a while. But it's come back into my experience as to why something he said in a presentation or whatever, a darshan, which means blessing, bhakti. I love the word bhakti, devotion. And the way he delivered it is when I began to fashion this presentation that I'm going to deliver to you. How about some Lavender Soul? Going to be right back. Stick around. Stick around. If you got nothing to do, go get you some popcorn, some wine, some Mother Earth, whatever it's worth. Devotion. Why not divine lover? Lavender Soul. Stick around.
I will be with you always until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
All of my life, all of my days, I feel you there beside me. All of my lives, all through my days, I've seen places far away. Wondering just when, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just where, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality, and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel
Welcome back to Center Light. Tonight, a center of light, Bhakti, devotion, love. Self-love taken to the ultimate level is God. Self-love taken to the absolute level is God. God is the absolute. Devotion is turning the fire up, but inward. It's always great to blow the fire out. If you don't, you'll explode. You have to express. You have to emote. You don't have to. It's advantageous that we do so. But turning the fire up here, the gate between heaven and earth, turning it up so much, but leaning into it, and the causal universe which is infinite this way. The universe out here seems infinite, but it is only as infinite as we dwell in the heart. After that, the universe begins to have a wall, an outermost edge. When we go inward, not only is it infinite, it's infinite potential, infinitely. Devotion gives us access to that party. Putting all of you passionately into everything. My connection with Swamiji, his devotion to me, toward me, is always there. It's infinite. It's been there forever. It's for us to do the leaning back into our deity. You may not be one who falls under the tutelage or the wing of a deity. That's fantastic. You're stepping into your own, as your own salvation, if you will. But understand, gurus, people today say, you have to save yourself. Well, it's always been you have to save yourself. But these pillars of light, these anchors, are placed everywhere. Earth, just above, just above that. And these 5D towers, if you will, 5G towers, these 5 God towers, we connect to ping and connect, to make calls, to receive calls, divine calling and divine calls. Jesus is around. He is a pillar. He is a savior. Near you or near anyone, if you lean into it, plug into it, the gate gets open, and through the Christ principle you pass, the Buddhic principle you pass, the Swamiji principle you pass, the divine principle you pass. So these towers of light and power and divinity are everywhere. Whether you worship a deity or follow a deity's teachings or not, they are there. Because it's like we need trees to have food to eat. The tree is a pillar. It's a power of light. It's there. It drops seeds. We pick up the apple and we eat it. We sustain, we're nourished. We grow up, bear children. Likewise, spiritually, in the spiritual context, these beings of light are spiritual trees. They drop energetic seeds. We pick them up, we eat them, we grow spiritually. We spread the love and light to others devotedly, because you are devotee, and we create bigger offspring in our tribe, in our life. As above, so below, on forever it will go. Center of light, Bhakti, devotion. It's not about just be passionate. It is that, but it's not about just being passionate. The word devotion in and of itself has a vibratory nuance, ambiance to it. It's purple, lavender, pink, somewhere in that fairy angelic kingdom kind of color. It's a purposeful, it has in its tone, say devotion. It has this feeling about it. Passion is all about some fire. Loving something so greatly that in your simple act of love, you become that great yourself. It's devotion. Let's get into some presentations. Let's see who we have first. None other. Stick around. See you shortly. Tonight is Center Light Bhakti Devotion. What is devotion?
Is the tree under which you are standing thinking whether you want to breathe or not? It anyway gives. It's up to you whether you want to breathe or not. The tree doesn't make those choices, just gives. How much you want to breathe is up to you. So they may not receive it properly, so I will not give. Don't get into this kind of rubbish. It's your thing to give. If they have sense, they may receive it. If they don't need your rubbish, they may not receive it. They don't need it. They may be self-contained, they may not need it, or they may not have the sense to receive it. It doesn't matter, that's not for you. You know the joy of constantly doing it, that's all.
Guru, I'm having a hard time with devotion, and I've been reading everything I can find about things you've said and driving everyone around here crazy, asking all of them, what's devotion, and I'm hoping that you can explain it to me in a way that I understand. Please.
You want to understand devotion or you want to know devotion? You want to know devotion. You want to know devotion, it's one thing. Understanding devotion is an academic thing. Devotion means that which is devoid of you. It's a different dimension of intelligence, where your intelligence has flowered to a point, you understand. If you have strived hard enough in your life, you understand this body, this brain, this one can do only this much. But there is something here which is much larger than this one. If you understand this, you will not make more and more out of yourself. You will make less and less out of yourself. When you become nothing, you are naturally devout. Devotion means you allow the existence to flow through you. You allow the grace of the existence to flow through you. Intellect means you will divide everything into a million pieces and you believe you have understood. So don't go about trying to understand. Do you know that last leaf, that leaf which only came up 2 days ago? Do you understand this leaf? Do you? Do you? Why, you're not a science graduate? You study all the goddamn biology that's there on this planet, you will still not know what it is. An ant which is crawling right now in front of you. Do you understand this ant? Do you understand this ant fully? No. Do you understand a single atom in this existence? Even a subatomic particle, do you fully understand? So when you realize everything is here, is beyond you. An ant, the way it is made, the mechanics of the ant, just see those 8 legs, how efficiently they're walking without getting tangled up. Just the mechanical part of it, you're not able to understand. Leave the other aspects of it. So if you see everything is beyond your understanding here, from a leaf to an atom to an ant to an atom to a subatomic particle, everything is just beyond your understanding. Would it be not natural for you to bow down to everything that you see? You think you got it, so now you have to trying to understand devotion. You cannot understand anything, but you can experience everything if you're willing and open. Devotion means you're an absolutely open doorway to life. A devotee, once you identify yourself with your intellect, immediately devotion looks like a stupid thing. Of course, a lot of devotees are stupid. Or a lot of stupid people claim they are devotees. Lot of idiots on the planet who are full of fear claim they are devotees. In India, it's become synonymous, Bhaya Bhakti. That means they're uttering the word Bhaya means fear, Bhakti means devotion. They're uttering these two words as if they are same. If you are in fear, obviously there is no devotion in you. If you are in devotion, there just cannot be any fear in you. There simply cannot be any fear in you if you're in a state of devotion. But now, people understand these two things which are diametrically opposite to each other as one thing, because it's convenient for them. This has become the normal understanding because all kinds of idiots, the most idiotic on the planet, claim that they are devotees. Stupidity is not devotion. Devotion is a different dimension of intelligence which has understood that intellect is a limited instrument. With this, you cannot grasp the world. Stretch this intellect to its limit, you will clearly realize, with this, you can survive. With this, you can look smart in a tea party. With this, you can make money. With this, you can find a job. But with this, you cannot grasp the existence. It doesn't take long to understand this. If you understand this, then you will naturally bow down and become a devotee. It's not an act, it is absence of your rubbish, that's devotion. When your rubbish stops, devotion is. Devotion is not an act. That if you go and do puja in a temple or pray in a church or stand upside down, that's not devotion. They're trying to work up their devotion. Devotion means you have seen the limitations of who you are and you have seen the boundlessness of what it is. Compared to this and this, it looks too small, too minuscule. So naturally, you will be devout. There is no other way to be. You understand, being identified with the smallness of who you are is the only barrier you have, and you will become devoid of yourself. When you are devoid of yourself, you are a devotee. There is no other way.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light, Bhakti, devotion. What is true devotion? It's big. Bigger than we can think. Bigger than we might choose to want to think. It means, literally, this is scary shit. I've been given the opportunity a few times. One in particular, standing before the Godhead. Are you coming in, Keith? And I said, I want to, but. The body on the bed, light years away, did not want to lose its identity. I did not want to be Keith. It's the true devotion is to be willing to drown in divine love, to breathe again, to live again. It all has to go, all of it. It means to literally become conscious of the life stream that moves in all of us called God. To recap Sadhguru, listen to this. He paints the picture of devotion so perfectly, eloquently. Sadhguru, do you understand? The girl asked him, I'm having trouble understanding devotion. Beautiful question, honest question. From where she's coming from inside, she wants her devotion to be in devotion is apparent. And she asked Sadhguru, I'm struggling to understand devotion. And he says, do you want to understand devotion or do you want to experience it? It turns everything over on its end. It turns everything from out here, projecting to a God somewhere, brings it back to the near and dear here, which says, I want to experience it here, not in the future, so I can understand it in the future. It's about doing the work now that may take some future time, but it doesn't have to. Do you want to understand devotion or do you want to experience it? His second pass. Devotion is being absolutely open to life. Period. There's no squashing, there's no judging, there's no smiting, there's no heavy thumb, there's none of that. It's just watching the whole drama, the cosmic divine Leela, the cosmic play simply unfold. Life can often grab us by the boo-boo. People are close to us. They leave. Life changes. The world changes. It moves us as it should be. But a true devotee sees it in all of its beauty and folly as well. And then there's something else that happens beyond the beauty and the folly. And that's something that is ever more beautiful. Hence Sadhguru's next pass that I caught. There is no fear in you if there is a nest egg of devotion. There is no fear in you if there is a nest egg of devotion. Even when things move us like a ship on a turbulent ocean, we can still be the anchor that's been placed that moors intentions, governs, but there has to be something fixed, something that moors. And that's these deities that are all around us. Your great grandmother's all around you. All these beings of light are as it's a divine grid, it's a divine matrix. We may see ourselves for analogous reasons. One who is here. I'm here. You're over there. My sister's over there. My cousin's over there. My best friends are all over here. We're here. But these beings are holding down the center of light foundation. Everything's backwards. They're holding down the foundation of light so we can move about in human life. Somewhere near, there is a deity. In any garb, any guise. And they will appear when we become devoted to wanting such experiences. Do you want to know about it? You can read about it in the dictionary. Do we want to experience it? Then we need to go to the book of life. Finally, in Sadhguru's recap, devotion, it's not an act. And I don't mean you're acting, you're pretending, because it's fake. That's not what I mean. It's not an act. It's not a verb. Devotion is not an act. In fact, it's an absence of all rubbish. Hello, Brother Bo. I enjoyed my time with you today, sir. Thank you. Devotion is not an act. Because in the acting, even though it may be intentful, beautiful, and meaningful, understand, if you're such a one who wants deeper levels of bliss to move through you, understand that said devotional practices we've been using, beautiful they are, the law doesn't change for anyone. It's still absolute rubbish. And I'm saying this for me. Without the level of depth, because one could sit still and not do anything and have devotion or bhakti. And one can be moving so much so that they're trying to achieve it, that they miss it completely. So what is true devotion? There's really no other way to say it. True devotion is letting God not only to do a serious number on you, but so much so that what you know as you goes bye-bye. Scary stuff, I know. And it's not scary in an active sense. It's I have reservations because I'm not sure of such. Not only just change. Change is one thing. It's a little uncertain and it's a little concerning. Oh, if that's the right word. It's a little nerving. Now you add the cosmic, the divine, times infinity to that. I can see how it gets a little wonky. True devotion means I am choosing to so connect with the divine parent, which I'm already connected to. I'm not aware of it, but I'm willing to die to do it. That's true devotion. There will be a learning curve of how to engage, how to let go. It's more of a let go, really. But you might have to pick up a book, or whatever, to have something else trigger you, and Spirit will move all of us to do said actions. But true devotion is not about acting out of something to prove I'm going to do something. I'm going to go show my devotion, my praise, my worship. That's beautiful. We all need these kinds of acts, these leverages. But when it comes to one's own self-development beyond the extensions of anything that exists beyond us, your children, your wife, husband, your family, your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country, your continent, your world, this is another matter entirely. And everyone is still included. But it's about becoming the fullness of ourselves to become full of yourself. Think about that. Have you ever heard that in the spiritual community? You need to be full of yourself. So full of yourself, you explode in a conflagration constructively, not destructively, of light. Jesus did it. Buddha did it. Da-da-da did it. Da-da-da-da-da-da did it. Your grandma, your grandpa did it. So this is what it takes to get with it. What is bhakti? Devotion. Devotion means I'm going to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. My brother Bo says absolute magic and divine. There is nothing else. If that's what you want. Enjoy the earth ride as long as you choose. There is no win or lose in this regard, but it will come down to a matter of massage or bruise. Because what matters about the time we're living in, it can be ecstatically massaging, soothing, healing, or it can be erratically bruising, painful, and a whole hell of a lot of squealing. This is the magnificence of being human on this earth. We have the choice, not only to feel positive or negative. Well, Keith, you're saying there's something else in this world of duality? I'm saying absolutely there is. Positivity and negativity are mirrors and faces of each other. Positive, negative. So when we want to bring them together, it forms this posture here. And this posture here, in absolute devotion, becomes the other feeling. Not good, not bad. It creates joy and bliss. There's always something more. If you think there's something more, then there's always something more. And devotion is that more. When we get more-ish. Presentation number 2, Baba Muji. Hello, Melinda. She says, nothing matters, and what if it did? So in the what if it did, behind the scene of that curtain, of that drama, that play, that theater, that act that we've been talking about, who is the observer? Who is in the audience watching this play happening? When the play is over, do we scoff at the villain still as we're talking about the theater on the way to the car with your loved one? I mean, or are you just happy you had a great experience watching a drama unfold? You don't scoff at the villain and praise the heroes. You say, wow, what a phenomenal experience that was, versus watching the trailer of the movie. You can learn about the movie by watching the trailer, but you experience the movie by being in the theater. The theater is bhakti, devotion. It's so easy. And I'm laughing because I get tickled, because I get these little bang, 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 bangs go off inside of me when I sit here and simply do this for me. And I just get to hang out with you as a side effect. A beautiful one that is. Baba Muji. He has such a beautiful way about him. Check him out. Tonight is Center of Light Bhakti, devotion. Your knees do not have to get calloused to be devoted.
Whenever I'm asked, what's it all about? What's this life all about? It seems to be beset with so much challenges and struggles for many people. Why are we here? What are we here for? And it comes to me to say, to taste the world, to taste diversity, to have experiencing through the senses and the mind, to be creative and imaginative, to try everything that Maya can give you. Maya means the great illusion. To try all the things. And then at some point, to even appreciate the wonderfulness of the creative expressions of God. But in the end, to find only God is enough. You try everything and nothing lasts. It's all temporary. It's all a temporary manifestation. And it's not an accident. It is also for our experiencing. But amongst us, I would say the wise ones, having tasted, my mother once said to me in a letter, I've had enough, I'm tired of experiencing, she said. Because looking back, I see for much of my life I've been picking up burdens, and it's enough. And it seems the mind gives us a lot of opportunities. Taste this, taste that, come the end. If you're blessed, I would say, you come to see. I have had enough of transient experiences, and we turn inward to find the one who can never leave you. So, what's it all about? To taste all this through the senses and the mind, and then to transcend them, to say, no, only God is enough. And what is God? Is God some entity sitting somewhere up there looking at you? No, God is in every molecule, every particle, in the visible and the indivisible. The presence of the Supreme is here. It's inside each form, inside the heart and the mind, everything is here. But once we desire a thing, our attention goes to that thing and energy goes to that. And for a while we cannot help it. We are compelled into experiencing. At one time you'll come to see, I have lived with so many people, with so many things. Now I must find the one I cannot live without. This one within your own heart. He's already calling you from within. And it's not far. How far can you be away from the infinite one? You are within the infinite, appearing to be only finite. And just sit by yourself and pick up no thought or any intention or anything from time, past, present, or future. Simply be empty. present himself in you as pure presence, you see. Yeah. Start here and stay with it. Because sometimes mind will come and says, haha, see what's happening, it's nothing, and so on. And for a while, we have been quick to listen to this voice. Because in the world, you will hear this voice multiplied thousands of times, telling you, go this way, do this thing, or this is not good, look at these people, and so on. You will hear that voice. But you must find a voice that sometimes doesn't use words also. It just happens inside your heart, a deep silence and peace. Be one to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Absorb me. You will never make a better move. It's even a non-move. The move is only the attitude to say, I welcome you. I welcome you. Yes. Merge me with you. O Supreme Self. O source of happiness, source of life. O uncreated one. Absorb me in you. Isn't it good? Thank you. Because mind is not going to tell you, listen, you're right here. Why are you trying so hard? Why are you trying so hard? It is, no, it's not his voice. But he can even say, because he's cunning, he can say, oh, but you're already this. Look, you're already, why are you trying so hard? You're already finished, you're already complete. Look how wonderful, there's nothing to do. So you must discern. But how to know if your discernment is right? You will cultivate that maturity will come. You only have to have the good intention and to be open. And don't go around reading many books and searching for teachers. You don't have to do that. While you're searching for teachers, you miss the one who is timelessly here. Find the one who is timelessly here. And if he wants to take you to a teacher whose voice you can hear, he will do that. Start with him. Don't end with him. Start with him. And put an end to your trouble. Okay?
Muji. Searching for teachers, you miss the one that is already here. Good night. Searching for teachers, reading books, you miss the message, the word, the one that is already here. Recap of Muji number 2. I have lived with so many people and so many things. Tonight is Center of Light, Bhakti devotion. Doesn't mean dropping to your knees and get bruises and calluses on your caps. Bhakti devotion. He echoed what Sadhguru said. It's not an act, it's not a doing. It's an intention, an opening. I have lived with so many people and so many things, but now I need the one I can't live without. That is devotion. Paints this eloquent, beautiful, spiritual picture of what devotion is. It may look like dropping to the knees. It may look like being of service. And all these are components of bhakti, being in love with humanity and being serving. And devotion, and devoted to that. But until one truly becomes devotion, bhakti itself, it's like writing a check for $1,000 and you only have $999 in the account. Close, but it will bounce out of the arena of fair play. The divine law does not change. It does not discredit nor discolor any of our intentions to be of service and to want to help. But it's for the aspirant who chooses to go beyond help to lose your mind. It's truly letting God smother you with its breath of life. I'm done. I don't have to die to go to heaven. I can simply allow myself, by becoming vulnerable and peeling this open in such a way that I am a true devotee. It takes time. It can take time. It can happen in a holy instant. Video number 3, audio bite number 3. Thank you for joining Center of Light. I'm probably going to take a break for a while. Lots of things coming down the Center of Light Foundation pike. We're becoming an LLC, and we'll see. But lots of things are coming down the ocean or the sea for Center of Light Foundation. A new teacher, I've been knowing of his presence for a while, but I really started leaning into him again. In fact, he inspired this presentation tonight. He's a beautiful man, beautiful soul. In his beauty, you know what I mean, because he's a handsome man, which he is, there's a light there. And it shines forth through his beauty, his humanity. Swami Vishwananda, Bhakti, devotion. See you shortly.
So very often is the mind which is an obstacle on that, because we think we know better. Even when the Guru says something, no, I know better, because I'm the wise one. This is the stupidity of the mind, to make you think, yes, you know everything. And that's what Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, it's just the surrender of the mind. What we call spirituality, what we call devotion. What is devotion? Devotion is nothing about the heart. We talk about it, yes, devotion is from the heart. But in reality, no, devotion is the surrendering of the mind. When the mind is surrendered completely to the divine, then devotion awake. Devotion don't just awake randomly like that when the mind is still active. That's fantasy of the mind. That's the craziness of the mind. But awake with it. That's how everybody will think that they are apostles. They'll think that they are Mary Magdalena or whatever. This is a fantasy that you all create. That mind have to be controlled and surrender. When that mind is controlled and surrender, that's where spirituality awake. That's where devotion take its root. As long as that mind is not surrender, no, there's no devotion. You can pretend to be devotional, but it becomes just external. A lot of people can do external things. You see the whole world are doing just external devotion, drama. But reality is only when that mind is surrendered. Then it awakes inside of you. And God is like that, you see. Once you surrender to Him, He wipe everything away. All your karma from past, present, good or bad, He wipe everything, clean slate. And not only that, imagine how merciful He is, Out of His mercy, He look after you. Go and surrender. You have committed a crime. Go and surrender to the police. What would you happen? What would you do? You say, yes, I have come. I'm surrendering to you now. Yeah? Do you think the judge would say, yes, because you have come and surrendered to me? Fine, go. No, the judge will punish you. But look how merciful is the Lord, When you surrender to Him, He's not only wiping all your sin away. He's not only giving you the grace, He's even looking after you. And He take care of you. He carry you. That's how merciful it is to those whose mind have been surrendered to Him. That's what we call Bhakti, when the mind is completely surrendered. And out of that surrender, look how merciful. He take care of you. He look after you. He carry you. He do His leela through you. So, that's what Krishna reminds Arjuna of, But you have to surrender. All about the Gita, what he said, surrender your mind. Nothing else. The rest He is handling. Once that mind is surrendered completely to Him, He will handle it. It's like when somebody get married, no? That person become also shareholders of whatever the husband have, no? You have half partnership, no? Of course, now marriage is just based on probably, oh, this is my share, your share, you keep it, and this and that. No, but when you get married, you become half. So what belong to your husband belong to you. So the same thing, those who surrender to God, what belong to Him will also belong to you. But the full surrender must be there. And that surrender is the surrendering of one mind.
Welcome back to Center of Light, final segment. I learned a lot tonight, sitting in this chair, being with you for an hour. It's about the losing of the mind. We talk about the mind all the time, and losing it, purging it, moving through it. It's the monkey. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. All that stuff. But this is in a different context. It's another way of seeing the mind as the liberator or the instigator of trouble. The mind is a powerful tool until it becomes the master that makes us the slave. My presentations are not about something that you don't already know. But the play of these presentations is to help all of us grow to reach deeper levels. This is what I wrote in the segue. But it's about the play to help all of us reach deeper levels of what things could mean, are, of what things mean, are, and could mean. I often say that one of the four things you can never change is that you exist. You exist. You can never change that. We all agree. You can never change that. You exist. But what if you didn't? Think of the peace that you would have. Let me say that again. One of the four things you can never change is that you exist. And we're looking for peace. Maybe we should stop looking and just be it. But one of the four things we can never change is we exist. But what if you didn't? Imagine the peace that you can have. But could you have that peace if you didn't exist? The mind doesn't know what to do with this stuff. It gets wonky. I'm going to say it again for me. I'll often say we can never change that we exist. But imagine the peace that you could have would have if you didn't exist. Ooh, I could be so peaceful. Or could you, because you don't exist? How could you experience peace if you don't exist? Take that level of understanding and bring it into the arena of true devotion, which is, I exist. I contemplated that I don't, imagining how much peace I can have. And it's shown me how much peace I could simply have by not claiming or believing something that's just contrary to everything that is absolutely true in reality. So what it really comes down to is for those who want something that is beyond everything anyone can possibly know, but everyone can choose to experience. That's the choice. Are you living in bhakti, self-love, to the level of devotion that you move into the divine ocean, that there is absolutely no difference between you, me, we, in all that is good, loving, supporting, infinite, graceful, devoted to us in every possible way. You see, that will be an act. The word devoted sounds like an act. God is not devoted to us. Its very existence is devotion to life. God bless you. I love you beyond measure. See you soon.